custodian of documents and records of the council, and perform such other functions as required by the Act or any other enactment. I think it is clear that the mayor cannot be part of the implementation of financial activities of the council, because the same mayor has to sit at the chair of the council and hold that very CEO accountable.
Now, the issue here is that the manual, do you have any other issue with respect to any other provision of this manual?
Say it again?
Do you have any query with respect to any other provision of this manual that you think you should not follow?
Not that has been brought to my attention.
So the one that you have a problem is with respect to the authority for expenditure?
Because that involves, involving the mayor in an activity that would
Why would you not want to know what is withdrawn from your accounts?
I know what is going on in the council through my competent council committees.
No, the question is asked. Why would you not want to know what is withdrawn from the accounts of council?
I know what is withdrawn through reports of the finance committee, local government accounts committee.
Why would you not want to know when a CEO is withdrawing monies and the finance director, they are withdrawing monies from the accounts of council?
That is not my role. The day-to-day activities are the responsibility of the CEO. I'm charged to lead the council to hold that CEO accountable.
So when this threshold is recommended and it's required that it has to be followed, you think it is a bad precedent? It's a bad law?
It is a bad law unless otherwise the Local Government Act was reformed. During my first term as mayor, in 2018 September, I led 6 other mayors to write a letter to the Ministry of Local Government asking that the Local Government Act be amended and reformed, because it does not make the mayor an executive and makes the CEO an executive.
Yes.
Madam Chair, if you allow, I can read that letter for the benefit of the commission.
May you present it so that we can admit it in evidence and we can discuss it?
Okay.
Yes, if you have the letter there,
yes,
you can present it and we will admit it as an exhibit.
yes.
And then we will be in a position to discuss it.
Madam Chair, forgive me, but if I'm just appealing one more time, because I think it would benefit the discussion with the lead council going forward. If I just read certain excerpts, we wrote to the Minister of Local Government.
Yes, we are all saying the same thing. If you have the letter and we admit it in evidence, we can discuss the letter, and we will also be able to make the...
That's the one. The letter I'm speaking of is a letter we wrote, signed by 7 mayors, including Rohi Malik Law of Banjul, Malamin Bojang of North Bank, we have Landing Sane of Mansa Konko, and Sirifo Sonko of Birkama, where we, from the time we took up office, we noticed that there was an anomaly with the Local Government Act. Because as per international standards, mayors are executives. And by right, if you are elected to run the affairs of a municipality, you must be able to be held accountable for those responsibilities.
Okay, let me have it admitted first. Let me apply to have it admitted first. We apply to have the letter dated the 17th of September 2018 with the heading Proposed Amendments to the Local Government Act 2002 as amended to be admitted into evidence and marked as an exhibit.
A letter dated the 17th of September 2018 with reference LM 131/321/01 in brackets 22. The letter is addressed to all mayoresses, chairpersons, and it has the caption, Proposed Amendments to the Local Government Act 2002 as amended. It is signed by Fatou Jiba for Permanent Secretary. It is copied to the Lord Mayoress, Banjul City Council. Let me just say all the relevant councils. And attached to this letter is a letter dated the 8th of September 2018 from all mayors and chairpersons. It is addressed to the Ministry of Lands and Local Government. It has the subject, Proposed Amendments to the Local Government Act. And the said letter is signed by all the councils concerned. These two documents are admitted together as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/KMC/TAB/002.
As the commission pleases.
Thank you, Madam.
I believe the witness wants to read a paragraph or so from the letter. Is that correct, Mr. Bensouda?
Yes, thank you, Lead Counsel. Please, your indulgence, 5 minutes. So our letter is dated from all mayors and chairpersons on the 8th September 2018, written to the Ministry of Lands and Local Government, and the title is Proposed Amendments to the Local Government Act. There, Honorable Minister, over the years, the original Local Government Act passed in 2002 was amended numerous times. The purpose of the amendments was to reduce the authority of the councils to ensure that they remained firmly under the control of the executive. The original act was intended to implement the decentralization policy of the government, which was to deconcentrate power from the center by empowering the councils to take charge of the development agenda of the municipalities and regions through strong, capacitated local government structures elected by the people. It is proposed to reverse some of the amendments to ensure that the councils have the authority to govern their municipalities as originally intended, with the authority to make vital decisions. Proposed changes, I will just read 3, Madam. The Section 10, which is about the Establishment Committee, the section states, the original Section 10 had only 4 subsections. Subsection 5 and Subsection 6 were added to make the councils answerable to the governor in the regions and also subject them to the laws, to the approval of the governor. The following amendment is proposed. Subsection 5, the words "and be answerable to the governor" should be deleted. Subsection 6, the words "unsigned by the governor" should be deleted. Section 54, which also have to be amended in this regard to remove the governor from the process of enacting bylaws of the council. Section 15, functions of the chairperson, mayor, mayoress. The original act provided that the chairperson, mayor, mayoress shall be the political head of the local government area. This was deleted by Act number 8 of 2004. It is proposed that this subsection be restored because, having been elected by universal adult suffrage, the chairperson of the council is the political head of the area. It is also proposed that the functions of the chairperson, mayor, mayoress be rationalized with the functions of the council under Section 48. Section 48 vests executive powers in the council. However, it is not practicable for a body or persons to exercise executive power. It is therefore proposed to amend this section to the effect that executive powers of the council shall be vested in the chairperson, mayor, mayoress, who shall be answerable to the council for the exercise of such powers. This would remove doubts about the authority of the chairperson, mayor, mayoress in relation to the CEO. Both Section 15 and 48 will have to be amended to effect this change. The next critical one for this particular discussion is the clerk of council. The original section provided that the clerk shall be answerable to the chairperson, mayor, mayoress in the performance of his or her functions. This was amended by legal notice number 8 of 2004 to make the clerk answerable to the council. It is proposed that this amendment be reversed to enable the chairperson, mayor, mayoress supervise the work of the clerk, since it is the chairperson who presides over meetings and is responsible for the efficient conduct of council. The last one is on the local government service. The part provides for a local government service commission for each council for the appointment of council staff. The commission is appointed by the minister. It is important that the council is able to take responsibility for all HR matters, including the appointment of its staff, to ensure that it has more autonomy on its operations. It is therefore proposed that the local government commission is decentralized and appointed by each mayor, chairperson, or mayoress in their various localities. The membership of the commission should be independent and qualified citizens. It is also important that the chairperson, mayor, mayoress is able to drive the agenda for the council effectively, so that the chairperson should have greater say on the composition of the management team comprising the chief executive officer, finance directors, and other line directors. It is therefore proposed that the chief executive officer, the finance director, and all other directors are appointed by the chairperson, mayor, mayoress, after consultation with the local government service commission, which is appointed by the mayor. This is consistent with the arrangements at central government level, where the head of state appoints the Secretary General and all other heads of institutions after consultation with the Public Service Commission. This is consistent with the arrangements of central government level, where the presidents appoint the Secretary General. Oh, sorry, I just said that. So this was a letter that was sent to the Ministry of Local Government 3 months after we were elected into office, signed by Rohi Malik Lo, TALIB BENSOUDA, Sirifo Sonko, Fode Danjo, Landing B. Sane, Malamin Bojang, Ibrahim Sane, and Sehu Jawara of Kuntawar Area Council.
All right.
And should I read the response of the ministry?
No need for that.
Sure.
Which part of that letter talks about the threshold?
The part of the letter that concerns the threshold is executive power of the mayor.
Yes, which says what?
So in all area councils, mayors should be the chief executive. The mayor should be the executive running the affairs of the council after winning elections.
No, I mean, which part of the letter addresses the issue of the threshold?
That's the part I'm talking about. So as an executive, you will be the key person responsible for both the financial decisions of the council and the human resources.
You did not address the threshold in that letter directly, did you?
I did.
Directly, the issue of the threshold?
I did.
Can you read it again for our discussion?
So it's a matter of law, lead counsel.
No, just read it again, the part
I can read that part very clearly.
That you address the issue of the threshold, so that we can have, or we can be on the same page for the purpose of proceeding to the next questions.
So, the functions of the mayor and mayoress.
Right.
The original act provided that the chairperson, mayor, mayoress, shall be the political head of the local government area.
Right.
This was deleted by Act Number 8 of 2004.
Right.
It is proposed that this subsection be restored because, having been elected by universal adult suffrage, the chairperson of the council is the political head of the region.
Right.
It is also proposed that the function of the chairperson, mayor, mayoress, be rationalized with the function of the council under Section 48.
Did you directly raise the issue of threshold in the letter?
That's what is addressing.
No.
Chairperson, mayor, mayoress be rationalized with the function of the council under Section 48.
Did you directly raise the issue of threshold in the letter?
That's what is addressing.
No. Did you directly? Because the idea that you have to have certain powers to execute your functions would be paramount in the execution of your duties. You occupy these offices, you know your challenges, and therefore it is important to raise them, and you have done that, just that. And I think that is what is supposed to be done, to communicate with government or through the courts to try to see how best the people that we govern, either as chairman, mayors, or mayors, are done effectively, and that we have a common ground there. But the idea that the issue of threshold was raised directly would not be correct, because in this letter, when we discuss the issue of threshold in the financial manual, and it is expressly stated, if you have a problem with the threshold, you will want to address it specifically so that it can be discussed. But then the letter does not in any way have a direct mention of what the threshold is and who should have what.
If I can speak relatively freely, the issue of the threshold, may I say, is illegal. The mayor cannot be a judge, jury, executioner. If the mayor is part of the council as an oversight body, it cannot also be part of the operations of that very body.
I agree. I'm just saying someone else may read this and not see the issue of threshold being discussed. You may read it, or in fact, as at the time you guys wrote this letter, genuinely, you may perhaps think or have the opinion that the issue of threshold is discussed here. So the idea that someone else may even read this and not see the issue of threshold expressly discussed is a possibility, correct?
Well, if I can use an example, if I may, Chairperson.
No, do you agree with that? Do you agree with my position?
No, I don't.
You don't, okay. Then we move on. Now, the recommendations on the amendments of the Financial and Accounting Manual. You guys, you departed from the requirement that there has to be a threshold by the Financial Manual, correct? You departed from that requirement because you believe strongly that the resolutions that is passed overrides this, correct?
No, there is a threshold. The threshold is with the CEO and the council.
No.
The only person removed from that threshold is the mayor.
No, yes. In effect, you have departed from the requirements of the Financial Manual.
The illegal requirements.
I am not talking about legal requirements also. I'm just saying going by the Financial Manual in itself, when it requires that there has to be clearance from one stage to the other. Right. When the chairman or the mayor wants, or the CEO wants to make withdrawals or accept charges in his accounts. CEO wants to make withdrawals or accept charges in his accounts of council. There has to be clearance from the mayor or chairman. It's an express requirement by the Financial Manual. And then up to a certain age, the council must clear. I am saying that going by your answer, you have said that you don't think it's best practice, and therefore you have departed from that, correct?
No, I said based on what that has said, the council has determined that is an illegal activity. That's why it says the threshold should be determined by the council. If the council determines that the mayor should not partake in those thresholds, it is perfectly legal for the council to take that stance.
Yes, so there was a departure.
Chairperson, if I may, I wanted to draw an example, a parallel with the Local Government Act and the Constitution.
Yes.
So the Local Government Act has many sections that are in contravention of the Constitution.
No, you cannot say they are in contravention of the Constitution. You know
have,
why you cannot say that?
We have tested it in the Supreme Court and we have won.
For the ones you have tested in the Supreme Court, you have won. Hear me out. For the ones you have tested in the Supreme Court,
that's the parallel and example I am using for you, lead counsel.
The ones you have tested in the Supreme Court, and you have won. We are not discussing those ones.
No, I am saying a parallel, an example is just because something is set out on paper in a policy or in an act does not make it legal.
I think that's 101.
As a mayor and as a citizen of the Gambia,
yes,
I should follow the Constitution to the letter.
Yes, Mr. Bensouda, no one is doubting that. You see, there are various laws, and you have legal advice. So there will be various laws that you must abide by. When you run these institutions, you abide by all those laws, regulations, acts, Constitution, you abide by them. And so that when you have that which you have been doing, when you have a disagreement with what a provision says, you don't think is right, you don't decide that there is inconsistency, so I am not going to follow it. No. You do what you do. You go to court. No, hear me out. You go to court. And then when you go to court, then you have your judgment. And that becomes the law moving from that day that the judgment is passed.
The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. So if there's any act or policy that is illegal, I'm obliged not to follow it and follow the Constitution.
Now, which part of the Constitution does this issue of threshold contravene?
No, I was drawing a parallel between the Local Government Act and the Constitution.
Let's not do a parallel. Let's answer the question based on the subject matter. Right. The subject matter here is the Financial Manual and the Local Government Act.
So, lead counsel, I think, Chairperson, what I said originally was the policy is in contravention of the Local Government Act, which vests all financial authority with the CEO. The role of the mayor and the council is to hold the CEO answerable for the execution of the finances of the council. Now,
Yes,
if the
yes.
mayor is a member of the council, sorry, Madam Chair.
Yes, you can
If the
proceed.
mayor is a member of the council, to hold the CEO accountable, then he cannot also be implementing alongside the CEO. That's why I draw the example of that original letter, where we noticed this anomaly from the first time we took office. And we said, mayors should be the executive. All over the world, the mayors are the executive. The mayor can decide whether to hire a CEO or not to hire a CEO for the administration of that area council. So we wrote to the ministry to try to adhere to those best practices. In their response, they agreed with us. That's why I wanted to read the response. They agreed with us. However, they said they wanted to make a comprehensive reform and don't want to do it in piecemeal, which we accepted at the time, but the reforms never came.
Do I proceed, Madam Chair? Good. I'm back to the issue, Mr. Bensouda. We are strictly talking about this issue regarding the threshold. Now, Council departed from the threshold. Do you have the resolution that has discussed this threshold and decided that you will pass through it? You will not adhere to it? No, did you pass a resolution first? Did Council pass a resolution with respect to the threshold to say that you have seen the local government finance manual and that you do not think that it is feasible, and then Council has resolved that this part of the threshold be departed from, and there is a better way of administration?
It is good you raised this issue, lead council. In our 2018, when we took over the council, I think it's an open secret about how damaged KMC was.
No, Mr. Bensouda, I want you to answer the question.
I am answering the question.
Yes, did Council pass a resolution?
I have to submit my evidence in full. That's why I
yes,
have to
can we wait for one another so that we will not be speaking, so that I can appreciate your evidence, because we are really following your evidence.
Thank you, madam.
So you allow him to ask the questions and you answer the questions.
Right.
And then we will give you ample time to elaborate and explain in details for us to appreciate, what you are saying.
Right. Madam Chair, I respect that very much. I just wanted to create one second context. I'm not going to do a long story. It was just saying that when I came, we saw the problems. So originally, the council said, Mayor, can you check all payments above 100,000? That's why I said, I'm thankful that he asked that. There was a resolution in our first General Council meeting that all payments above 100,000, let the mayor check it. But then our Director of Compliance visited me at my office and said, this is a contradiction. You cannot be judge, jury, executioner. You cannot be part of the process, and then you want to exercise oversight on that same process. So that's when the Finance Committee said, no, let it now be a two-step process. Let the payments, anything above 500,000, be brought to the General Council, and let be the CEO responsible for anything under. But the CEO is also the chairperson of the Contracts Committee that makes majority of the procurement. So that's the example I just wanted to lay out.
No, back to the question. We don't have evidence of that. If you have evidence of that,
I have evidence of that.
You can produce it.
Council, I believe it's time. We will recess for 30 minutes, and we'll come back. We rise.